YouTube, back again, continuing on with the discussion around discipline and are we all created equally? And I had highlighted before around yesterday around the a lot of the Eastern cultures, the Asian cultures versus the Western cultures, where discipline seems to be very different. Western culture want a lot of freedom and a lot of like give the kid, you know, the opportunity to paint their own picture, whereas, you know, Asian Eastern cultures are generally more, this is the parameters and this is how we do it and this is what we do, and commit to it and be disciplined. And I was sharing around the fact that even within YouTube, everything has the rose-colored glass window, and eventually that tapers, and then that's where you've really got to push through. Recently I've had a real challenge to my 5 a.m.s. If you've been following the channel, I've been hitting the like 4:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. and getting in the pool, doing laps and swimming. On weekends, cycling, trying to get myself fitter, and also just mentally, it's a great way to get all of the chemicals and what have you moving around. Now, we're also now trying to cot train our 2-year-old, and that means that I'm essentially on night duty because I don't smell like milk, and therefore we're trying to wean as well. So we're trying to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Problem is, the challenge has been lately that I might be getting like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep with a little, quite a big gap in the middle, 2 hours of being up, dealing with a kid not wanting to sleep. That by the time that 4:30 alarm's going off, I'm either completely and utterly exhausted and valuing the sleep over getting up. Now, am I failing at the 5 a.m. thing? And in black and white, yes, I am. I'm not achieving that goal. I'm not achieving that outcome. On the flip side, life is for living, and right now this is the price to pay for what we're going through. So I don't necessarily see it as failure, but I know that I've got to get back to that goal. And this morning I got back into, you know, getting up at 4:30, and I laid there and I went, it was a pretty easy night last night. I could try to catch up on some sleep, but then I went, now I'm just creating the excuses again. And I pushed through, I got up and went and did swim, and I did it even earlier than normal, and I was back home even earlier than normal, and I was feeling really great, and I've had a really great day from it. Case in point is, it gets hard, you hit those bottoms, and you've got to really know where the targets are. And when you're dealing with, say, a kid that doesn't want to do an activity anymore, the novelty's worn off, and now it's just kind of challenging, I guess, might be the better way to look at it. They're starting to get challenged because, again, when you start anything, there's like that grace period. You start a new job, everyone's going to let you have a window of time of, you know, finding your way around and like looking for a car park so you can come rocking in a bit late. Like there's a lot more room for movement, but eventually that wears and there's the expectation. And I think that's no different. However, we need to coach and help our kids to push through that. And that's where the discipline aspect, I think, and from my observations within Asian cultures and the like, they push through that discipline. And you see it with karate, you see it with a lot of those, the mental sides of those activities. Is that, yes, you need to push through that mental barrier, because we're back at those blockers again. We're back at those blockers of being like, well, I'm not good enough to do this, I'm not smart enough to, you know, and we create all those blocks for ourselves when we need to then, like I've said before, push through that and kind of go, why? And like I said, why am I not meeting my 4:30 in the morning, 5 a.m.? What's blocking me? Well, a 2-year-old trying to train, you can't really do a lot about that. I've got to either go to bed earlier in order to try and buffer whatever potentials through the night are going to hit me, so that I can still get up at 4:30, or for a window of time I've just got to deal with getting what I can, where I can, and how I can. But I've got to work out my plan, and that's what I guess I'm throwing back. When a kid doesn't have the ability to analyze, reference, and evaluate, they don't have the ability to go, right now I'm having big feelings and I don't know how to think about that, and I don't know, they don't have all of that ability. And that's what I guess we need to help them to do when they're going, I'm not finding dance fun anymore. Trying to work out with them, well, what is it about dance? Ask the questions and help them to find another target, because more often than not, the target needs to be realigned to a new spot, and we then proceed, we reach that spot, create a new target, and move on to that, and that's a continual cycle. I don't think we're ever gonna in anything, and that's how you become, I guess, like a master per se, or you become more experienced in a particular thing, because you keep moving the target. So you've rebuilt, a clutch, so on a motorbike, for instance, and so the next thing, what are you going to do? Rebuild the whatever, the brakes, and so eventually you accumulate all of these skills and abilities, because you recalibrate. If you were just doing that same thing and then not doing anything more, once you've done that, and that's, I guess, that thing, once you've done the introduction course in dance, you've done the introduction course in dance. You could go back through and do it again, but it's not going to have that same spice that it had, I guess, when you started doing it to begin with. So you need to find a new target, you need to find something more that's going to be able to get you to the next point. So yeah, I hope that's been good for you. Chuck a like, thumbs up, comment if you're interested. The book is in the description. I do have an Amazon link, and I will get some credit for passing people through, but it's a great book. I'm enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying the videos coming to you 9 AM Monday to Friday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Have a good day, and you'll see me tomorrow morning. Bye for now.